Hello and welcome to a video review of the Asus ROG Strix GL502Vt. Wasn't that a mouthful? Now this particular video review will focus mainly on the gaming performance of this device, but we'll start by going over some of the features that it has. The first thing you will notice about this particular laptop is the striking black and orange use of color. The brushed aluminium top features an illuminated orange ROG logo. The use of color again continues across to the keyboard, where it has a chiclet style scissor switch keyboard illuminated by red LEDs, and of course you can also see the prominent ROG logo on the face there, and the orange coloring continues across to the WASD keys to let you know that yes, this is a gaming laptop. The choice of color isn't too bad, I want to say. The black and orange is nice. A lot of laptops in the past have done black and red, so I want to say the black and orange is something different, something new, and it looks quite modern and quite sleek. I do like the design of the laptop. It's quite compact, quite nice. The multi-touch trackpad is quite comfortable. It's well placed, fairly large as well. Like I said, it does support multi-touch, so you can do pinch to zoom and scroll, etc., etc. The laptop does feature a webcam and a noise cancelling microphone array. The webcam, I want to say, could be a bit better. It's not the best, but I think it would be fine if you were just doing some basic Skype calls or something. As far as connectivity goes, we have the power, Gigabit Ethernet, mini DisplayPort, HDMI, USB 3 and USB Type-C, which is the more modern USB equivalent. On the opposing side, we have a combination headphone microphone jack, two other USB 3s, an SDHC card reader, and we also have a Kensington port there to lock it down so no one can steal it from you. Now, as far as upgrading this particular laptop goes, there are a few options. You can upgrade the 2.5-inch drive. You can also put an NVMe PCI Express drive in there, and you do have one slot of RAM that you can upgrade to an extra 8 gigabytes. So that's what I've done. I've put an extra 8 gig stick in. So this particular machine now has 16 gig of RAM, and I installed a second SSD. So this particular one that I have has a 256 gig NVMe SSD in it, and I installed a secondary SSD drive so I could install some games. The cooling system is quite substantial. It does have discrete coolers for both CPU and GPU. They are fairly loud when it's fully working, but not so loud that it's really going to annoy you. And the majority of people that would be gaming would be wearing headphones, so it would just drown it out completely. Anyway, let's get into some gaming performance with this thing, shall we? That's what we all want to see. So the first game I ran on the laptop was Dark Souls 3. I had no trouble getting it to run at 1080p with all settings set to medium high, and it was quite comfortable. I was surprised that it was running so well, being that I really haven't had a laptop that had this sort of performance before, so it was a surprise to sit back and play it in quite high settings. This particular fight was chosen as well because it's quite laggy, but the laptop handled it really well, so I was very impressed with the performance in Dark Souls 3 on this particular machine. Now, for a change of pace entirely, I played the new Doom on the laptop. Again, quite surprised at the performance. Doom is a very modern game, very modern engine. id Software are notorious for pushing the boundaries of video game graphics, especially on PC, of course, and I've been a fan of them for years. I'm a really big FPS fan as well. I love my FPS, big Quake player, Doom, etc., etc. So this was really fun. I've already played through it on my main PC, but going back on the laptop was a good test because I'd played it on my fairly high-end PC with mouse and keyboard, so I knew what to expect. So I plugged in a mouse and keyboard to the laptop and played through, and I was really, really impressed. So I had VSync turned off just to show that it will actually go above 60 FPS at these settings. So this is running 1080p, everything's set to medium with a few settings set to high as well. I can run everything on high to very high, but the frame drops in certain areas get a lot more severe. But running it in these settings, it still looks incredible and getting a really nice solid 60 FPS. And the performance in a game like this, you really need to have that 60 FPS to enjoy it, I want to say, with a mouse and keyboard. Very, very fast and very frantic, and yeah, really fun to play. And to round out the trio of gaming performance tests, we installed Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 runs incredibly well on the laptop. I could not believe that I was getting such a smooth and solid frame rate. Very, very rarely went below 60 FPS. I actually had the laptop hooked up to an HDMI capture card through a second system, and I live streamed for about 4 or 5 hours playing the game, and people were amazed that I was getting the frame rates that I was on a laptop. So very, very impressive. Very massive game. Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC is a 70 gigabyte download. It has a lot of stuff to offer, a lot of audio, and just a lot of stuff to do. But the fact that it runs this well on a laptop was kind of blowing me away. So very, very impressive. So to be able to have such a good collection of games on a portable machine, playing Doom, playing Dark Souls 3, playing Grand Theft Auto, and you could take this to a friend's house, I mean, very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. So high to very high settings. I could run on very high, but again, like Doom, I would get some fairly substantial frame drops in certain areas. But very impressed with the gaming performance of this particular laptop. So the overall performance of this laptop really surprised me. Like I said earlier, I hadn't had anything this portable that was this powerful before. So being able to play modern games in more than respectable frame rates and settings is very, very nice. Being able to take it to a friend's house, if you're a college student, if you're a manager that goes on the road, if you're a sales rep, this would be the perfect thing to have, that you could get business done on it, and when you had some downtime, you could fire up a really nice game and run it as well. It suffers the same issue that most high-end laptops does. It generates an incredible amount of heat, has fairly tinny speakers. The webcam is really not that good at all. They could definitely upgrade the webcam, but it does what it's supposed to do. It runs games, it looks cool, it has a good feature set. If you would like to know more, there's links in the description. If you have comments directly for me, questions, feel free to leave them below. Hit me up on Twitter if you really need a response quickly, and I'll see what I can do for you. Massive shout out to Asus for sending me this out to review. Let me know if you like the review, and if you want to see some more, I may see if I can get some more products to actually check out and tell you whether they're any good. We're closing the lid on this one, boys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. And until the next video, we'll see you later.